Hello learners, this is Sarfaraz, PhD, and in today's video I will discuss the idea of review of literature and why that is important, and a few methods that you can follow to do it effectively, and how do we benefit from the review of literature. So let me first talk about the idea of review of literature. Review of literature means the reviewing and the reading of existing literature on a particular topic. The word review, as we know, means reviewing, rewatching, rereading, reassessing. Okay, and literature this time has a broader interpretation. Literature not only means the literary texts like poetry or drama, but literature here means the written texts, the written documents of any topic, of any subject, be it medicine, be it law, be it physics, be it chemistry, be it literature. So literature here means accumulated ideas in a particular documentary form. So literature review is a very important portion of a PhD thesis or of any research that the researcher generally carries out. So how do we do that? Let me first come to that subject. How do we do that? So the researchers were often very much confused about how do we do the review of literature, whether do we have to read a lot of texts or a lot of existing knowledge or what. So there is no clear cut idea most of the times at the beginning of a PhD or an MPhil. So in today's video you will, I think, have an idea how the idea of review of literature has to be approached by beginner. Okay, so the first few things I will point out is how we do that review of literature thing. So let me discuss the topic and the methods first. First, one has to find out the thesis, okay, on a particular topic. Suppose you are doing research on a particular topic. Suppose it is environment. So you have to look for thesis that deal with the idea of environment, the environmental criticism, environmental critiques, environmental theory, and all. So you have to first find out the thesis which are already written or which are already available. And for that task, you can visit websites like Shodhganga and all, where you will find uh, the electronic version of available theses, or you may visit various libraries. So now that you have found a lot of theses, okay, on various topics, so what will you do? You have to sort out the thesis that you have to actually read, like which thesis discusses with the idea of environment. Okay, so since suppose your topic is environment, so you have to narrow down the theses that deal with that aspect. Then what you will do, you will first take each thesis, okay, and then you will read the title. The title will itself tell you whether that topic is relevant to your research or not. Then you have to go through the abstract. Okay, so there are three important points I will make. The first, read the abstract. So abstract will give you a clear cut idea of how to or whether to read that thesis thoroughly or not. After reading the abstract, you can eye over the table of content, and by going through the chapters that are in the thesis will let you know whether that thesis will help you in any substantial format or not. Then you can go through the conclusion of the thesis and read the major findings. Okay, so after reading those major findings, you can also read the bibliography that will lead you to other important critical books that can and that will be of help in your research. So this is one method to find out the thesis. The second method is to find out critical books. So you have to look for the critical books which describe, which discuss theoretical aspects, which discuss ideas of other experts on that field. Like you are doing on environmental criticism or environmental issues, then you have to look for books that critically engages with the topic, okay, by relevant authors. So you can Google about that particular topic, and you will come to know the researchers who are doing important works or who are doing relevant works. You can read their profiles, you can come to know about their books, and you have to read those books. Okay, so and you have to be very much careful about dealing with ideas of that books, because you cannot use all those ideas. You have to narrow down itself further. So this is the second point. The third point is to look for critical articles, research articles, like various journal articles or even articles that may be published in some newspapers and all. Okay, so the third important point that I made is that you have to read the research articles also. Then fourth point, but after reading all those things, now you have read the thesis, the critical books, the research articles. Then what? Then what you have to do is to summarize each author's work. Suppose you read a thesis and that thesis is relevant to your work, then you have to summarize that essence, thus the summary of that thesis in a very short size, like one paragraph. So you have to write the summary of that thesis into one paragraph. The same thing you have to do with other books also. Like you read a relevant book, then you summarize the gist, or you tabulate the gist. Okay, in one paragraph. The same thing has to be applicable in for research articles also. So this is how you do it. You read the thesis, you read the books, you read the research articles, and write one paragraph, one reasonable size paragraph for each work you may come across or you may read. Okay, so that is the practical part of the review of literature. Chronology: try to maintain a chronology while writing down the summaries of each and every thesis, book or article. You should maintain a kind of chronology. Suppose you are writing about the theses, then you write the thesis first. Okay, the thesis is the singular form. Thesis, THESES, is the plural form. So when you tabulate the thesis, you try to maintain order. First you tabulate, or first you write about the thesis, then you write about the books, then you write the articles, or whatever form you would like to mention. But try to put the thesis first, and also maintain a chronology. Suppose a thesis has come out in 2015 and a thesis has come out in 2016. You have to write about 2015 first. Okay, so that will kind of tell you a development of the way the ideas has developed over the time. So this is the method that you have to follow to do the review of literature effectively and practically. Now let me point out certain benefits, or why do we do the review of literature thing. So first, it benefits us to find the research gap. If you do not know what are the other workers are doing, or what the previous researchers, experts have done on that field, you will never be able to find a research gap, or you will never be able to substantiate your research gap. Suppose you are saying that I will do on this particular issue, environmental. Suppose we will do that sound pollution. So you cannot say just that there is no work on sound pollution. Okay, you have to read first, and you have to read the relevant literatures that I already discussed, the thesis, the books, the articles which have dealt with that particular issue. And now after reading those issues, you have to find out how your topic is going to benefit, how your topic is going to add to that existing knowledge. So this is one purpose. The benefit of reading the review of literature is to find out the research gap. The second point, that it is a very important task for a research scholar to develop the research questions. So that is a kind of leading thing. Okay, if you do not know the research gap, you cannot form the research questions. So this is how review of literature is very important for the formation of research questions also. And last but not least, the learning about the critical books. By doing the review of literature, you will know the critical, the expert works on that particular field, and this will help in your research, in current research also. How those books by other authors or by other scholars will benefit is beyond comprehension. You cannot now understand once, and you can only understand once you have gone through that process. So this will help you to build up your bibliography also. It will expand your vision about the topic, and you will greatly benefit from it. And it will cultivate a reading habit also. So this is the first thing that a researcher has to do. First, do the review of literature in a very significant way. That is the only structure, that is the only way you can substantiate your future arguments. I hope this video will be helpful to the young researchers, and to all the people who are confused about how to write the review of literature. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video.